This is C-Bro, and I'm going to be showing you how I go about farming 5-star and 8-slotted weapons. And while I'm doing it, I figured I'd just go through a commentary recording I did. I decided not to do it live just for the sole simplicity of using my softwares. Anyway, so as you can see, I use the typical gold item 3, rank 3 weapon slot potion, and I decided to use the normal farming ground, the bottom left area of the Master Quest field. And here are the stats on my weapon. I feel this is a pretty well balanced. It's not a 100% complete weapon, but it gets the job done pretty well, so I'm pretty proud with it. I'm going to tinker with it here and there, but it's good for farming. It's not the strongest weapon I use for them. And now this may not be the most efficient way of farming for your 8 slots or your 5-star rank 3 weapon, but I found this to be the funnest way. Plus, I love using the Fierce Deity link. So, anyway, here we go. This is how I handle the situation. And like I said, I did this for the sheer sake of fun. Because, yeah, we all know grinding can kind of suck. And don't get me wrong, I love farming and grinding. But after a while, you just kind of want to sit down and have fun while playing the game. So basically, I start this off by not attacking the main guys. I want to build up my bonuses getting to the 130 kills. So do your best to try to avoid them, get around them, no big deal. As you can see, I'm level 161. You do not need to be this high of a level. Granted, I know currently the max level is 255, but I actually started doing this at level 45 with Young Link. So after I get to the high rank weapon yields, that's when I start annihilating the bigger mobs. And as you can see with Fierce Deity, one of the perks of being him is you get the ability to phase blast people all around you. So there's a lot of things you need to keep in mind when using the Fierce Deity link. Of course you don't want to get hit, but that's really not that big of a deal. We're not going off of damage here. We're just trying to get as many kills as we can, but not only that, keeping those kills up. So we have a lot of things going on the screen right now. That we want to keep in observation. For example, Fierce Deity's source of power is his magic or focus spirit in this game. So you want to keep that up as much as you can. So I go about doing this by juggling his SP and the magics that get dropped on the field. Now, if you'll notice, as enemies drop the magic vials, I do not pick them up. I actually try and conserve them to the point to where I absolutely need them. So at all times, I'm keeping my eye not only on my focus spirit gauge, I'm also looking at my SP gauge while looking at my XP gauge as well, because as you know, each time you level up, it maxes out your SP gauge. So you want to take advantage of those kind of situations. So keep in mind where your XP is at, and if you'll notice, I take advantage of that in certain situations. We'll come across one here in a little bit. So right now I needed the magic, so I decided to go ahead and grab it. Alright, now, I don't want to just go ahead and attack Argarok. Most people will be like, oh, let's use the hook shot and take him down. No, we're using Fierce Deity. We can take him down another method. So, right now I want to build up my SP gauge again. So that's what I'm doing. Running around, wrecking mobs, just trying to get my SP back up. And once I get that bad boy capped out, this is what I do. I turn around to him and just unleash it on him. I go ahead and just use the boss breaker and bring him down. And keep in mind, too, I'm watching that XP gauge because I know what's about to happen here. So I go up to him, use the ocarina, replenish my magic, and then just let it loose, free the beast on him. Now, I don't go all the way down, bring him all the way down, it's still a fact that he will get back up. Take him down to about 4 bars and use it again. Now, I don't know if this applies being level 255, as I don't have a character that high yet, but we'll see what happens. And then you'll be able to just finish him off once you perform your the final boss breaker on him. And what's great about this mode is, using the Fierce Deity, once you do it, see I just leveled up full SP. Granted, I didn't need the magic right then and there, but go ahead and use it anyway so I can hold on to that SP. I definitely focus more on SP in this. And now, there's also different strategies I use here. Now I've got full SP and magic. So I'm actually not avoiding his attack, is more, if you'll notice, I'm lining up the two bosses, the two Manhandlas. See, they're actually right behind one another, and Fierce Deity's range on his boss breaker is massive. If you'll notice, both of them are dropped. Now, I'm going to play the ocarina, power back up again, And if you look, I'm actually hitting both of them at the same time to try and bring them down. Now, you don't have to do all this. It's just fun to be able to annihilate 2 bosses at one time. I mean, come on. It's freaking Fierce Deity. Let's do this. He's a boss. Anyway, I digress. But so then I just commenced the smackdown on both the manhandlers. Another thing you want to keep in mind in doing this, I'll go ahead and discuss it while I'm smacking this guy around. See, right here also I take advantage of the magic on the ground. Because, yeah, I could take time to throw the boomerang at him and bring him down. It's just so much quicker to do it this way. And Fierce Deity is about just the massive attacks and just trying to be as powerful as you can. But I want to take a moment to talk about, let's look at the time in the map. Yeah, there's a map. It's good for getting your location around your time. Yeah, we know how much time we have left. But that's actually a key factor in farming this stage. I like to hang out in this area right here. And depending on what time it is, also depends on how I play. See, earlier I was mainly just spamming my 3/ and then roll. 3/ roll, 3/ roll, 3/ roll. But now that I've already got past the manhandlers, after you beat the Argarok and the manhandlers, you don't have to worry about using your focus spirit attack anymore. You can just focus on pummeling enemies. So now I do my 3BY combo, because that last hit, as you can see, puts out that pretty big AoE, causing me to get a good amount of kills around me, keeping that SP full. Because like I said, I don't want to use the magic potions laying around the map. I want to save those just in case. Now, one key thing too, not that we're too worried about damage, but if you are worried about getting hit, if you'll notice, before I play the Ocarina, I'll actually throw a few energy blasts forward and I roll, and then I'll play it. Or I'll do an attack and then play it. Because, I mean, let's face it, I'm way stronger than the cannon fodder. Usually one swipe will kill just about anything. But you notice, I struck and then played the Ocarina. Also, it's okay not to grab the materials on the field. I mean, you don't want them to get built up to too massive amount, but do keep in mind that they are out there, and if you want to try and work your character towards them, that's fine. But see, right then I needed the magic, so I wanted to play it towards there. Now also, if you look on the map, we have several enemies all over the place. I like hanging out in front of that central area, but there's also the Nalflos up here that I want to go kill, because occasionally, not a lot, but occasionally he will drop a weapon. So come over there, kill him, see if he drops a weapon, which he didn't that time. And then just go back to wrecking stuff. Now you'll notice my movement patterns. Oh, right here, I'm actually trying to just range kill him, just so there's another pot on the ground, just in case I need it. But the way how I travel is I do my 2 to 3 hit combo, and then I roll. 2, 3, roll. 2, 3, roll. It's to keep SP flowing, and so I can keep moving. But I don't really like going past 3 hits too much. Unless I'm doing, of course, the 3BY combo. But anyway, now we're getting to the point where it's just going to be hanging out in front of that central building and just rinse and repeat right here. BBY, BBY, BBY. I mean, there's not much more to it. It's just right here you really need to be careful of your focus spirit gauge, just for the sole fact you don't want it to run out. I mean, no big deal. There's magic all over the place. Oh, come on. Then you got to rebuild your gauge, and you're losing kills. I mean, let's face it. At this point, it's really not that big of a deal, because you're not really getting many drops, and the chance of you getting a weapon drop is fairly rare. It's still there, but I mean, I also like to use this map for farming out kills for weapons. Like, no, it wasn't this time. But especially when you're trying to get your legendary skill, this is a good map to get it on, because at least with Fierce Deity, you can walk out with over 3k kills, so it's nice. But I use the bigger attacks on the bigger characters, especially when they're nice close like that, because it does quite a bit of damage. Like I said, just a lot of rinse and repeat at this point. It's also good to try and keep in mind where the magic potions are being dropped at, just in case you need to dash off to it. I like to try and keep in mind on that. So, just to kind of recap on things, you want to keep your eye, I know it's crazy to think about, but you want to keep it split between so many directions. So when using a Link, you want to keep a look at your magic, your SP, for this map, now mind you, the time, where you're at, and also your XP. And the reason why I say where you're at is because of the few mob spawns, like the Denalfos, for example. And there's the two Redeads I went and hunted down earlier. But as we start approaching, now, see at this point you'll notice I'm rolling a lot. I've changed up my tactic. That's because at this point the enemies aren't really respawning, so I'm just trying to rake in kills to keep my SP going. I've already kind of really thinned out the enemies. Now, as we get closer to the 1 minute mark, they'll open up again. They'll start going, and all enemies are advancing. They'll say something like that. You'll see here in a moment. That's when you really go buck wild. And as you can see, I'm at about 2,300 kills. And I'll jump up very fast in that 1 minute. But like I said, you want to keep your eye on the time, because you know the last thing you want to do is run out of time. And let's say if you got a few materials, or even worse, let's say that weapon you're trying to farm is out there and you run out of time. There's nothing worse seeing that weapon spawn out there and you're like, no, and you time out, and just I speak from experience on that. It's so annoying. I wasn't watching my time, but like I said, rinse and repeat. I attack, I protect myself before I kind of wipe out the enemies in my direct spot so I can use my ocarina. Now, see, we've hit the 59 mark, and it's crazy. You can just keep laying down the enemies. And because of the nature of the Fierce Deity, you don't have to worry about your magic. You pretty much kind of stay at full SP all times because the enemies are just so frequent right there. You just keep laying into them. 3BY, 3BY. There's also another strategy you can do. Another reason why I like hanging out here is if I do need magic, I can go kill that magic jar transport north of me. And sometimes if it's the game's being weird, I'll go up there and I won't per se camp him, but I will make sure every time he spawns he dies. And as you can see, I just leveled up, and having that level up factor can be really clinched sometimes. You're like, especially if your magic is just about to run out, and you level up, like, okay, good, just play the ocarina, we're good to go. And see right here, I waited till about the 13 to 10 second mark, and I started running around and picking up my stuff. Now, I do know that I've got about 5 to 10 seconds after the mission successful comes up, but I want to make sure I get everything. You know, it's materials. Use to make your potions and such. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do this. Now, I will say this, there was a downfall to this video. I did get 5-star yields, as you'll see, but I did not get any 8-slotted weapons. I, however, will put a link in the description below to a video that I watched for 8-slotted weapons using the same strategy. This is just the way I like to do it to have fun. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching my video, and have an awesome time playing the game.